Okay, so we're going to be in the 1% window stimulus for SDR for Hisense U8K. The brightness right now is at 452, 698, 718, and now it's holding. It was at 718 and now it's at 717. So mid 700s is where we are. So 717.3, 0.4, and it'll gradually fall off as time keeps progressing onward, but we expect it to hold this number fairly well. Okay, now we're going to go back. Now let's go into a 2% window. And the 2%, 845 is where we are right now. And it's holding that, drops down, and it will gradually fall from there. But you can expect the peak brightness for a 2% window to be about 840s, the 840s, mid 840s. So 844, 843. Again, gradually dropping off. So we're going to go back. We're going to go to a 5% window. And we're at 1,066 on the high end. That drops off to 1,065 now. Now 1,064. So it drops off pretty quickly once the initial peak kicks in. Now, the important thing though is like when you run into explosions in movies and stuff like that, this stuff is going to go as it goes, right? So it's usually going to be quick, but just so you know, it does gradually fall off, and now we're at 1,059. So it will have some fall off there as time keeps progressing. Okay, but we still got to see if Hisense can meet their 1,500 nit claim at a 10% window. Where are we at? We're at 1,000, 1,210. 1,210 is where we are right now. 1,209, 1,207. It's at 1,200, falling to 1,206 now. So this one's definitely not going to be able to pull it off. But we are at 1,200, so we're almost there, but not quite. So just kind of gradually falling off. 1,100s now, 1,198. So again, that initial peak always going to be your brightest, and then you're going to have a fall off that just kind of happens gradually. So about 1,100 you can expect on the 10% window. 25% window, we're at 11, 13, 88, 87. So it just drops pretty quickly now as we go lower and lower. And still haven't gotten to 1,500. And we're just gradually dropping now. So 1370s is what you can expect out of this peak window here for the 25%. And we're at now a 50% window. That's going to be pretty dim, I imagine. At 9, oh, that's actually impressive. 973 on the peak. That's not bad. Still pretty bright. Drops down. 970s. I think that's comfortably where we can be for the 50% window. Okay, and for the final window, we're at, I mean, we could do a 75% window. It won't really matter much. It's at 420, 460. 674, 712. So I'd say about 712 is actually where it's maintaining pretty well. It's pretty certain on that number, which is actually pretty good for 75% full screen brightness. Now we're going to go to a 100% window. 320, 614, 612, and it's holding at 612. So, all things considered, that's within scope from what we would expect. That's not bad. Didn't get to 1,500 nits. Now, and to be completely fair, I'm in vivid mode right now, which is usually the torch mode of torch modes. So, I don't know if that maybe had something to do with it. I'm actually going to go down to, let's try standard mode out. And we're just going to go and try to see if we can, I don't know, the brightness is at 100 and local dimming is set to medium. We can always set it to high if we want to, but you know, that's kind of where it is, more or less. So we're going to go back and we're going to try to run some of those numbers again to see if Hisense can get to their highest peak. We're going to go down now, descending order, 25% window, and we are not at the 1,500 mark. 1,498, okay, 1,497. So that's the closest. We almost made it past what they offered there. Again, this is why I do this, because you saw in real time, vivid mode wasn't getting it done. right? And this is how we can get different readings sometimes. So, you know, usually vivid mode is going to be the brightest mode, but you don't always want to use it. So as you see here, standard, it actually is getting you closer to the promise. And then we're going to go to the 10% window. And we're at 1257. That actually looks pretty dim on my end here, actually. 1257. Now, I believe the algorithm might be kicking in as well and trying to dim down because it sees black levels and it's trying to maintain all that. But 1257 is, the 1250s are basically what I'll call it for the 10% window, 5% window. This one, again, 1074, not very bright. Not very bright at all. I mean, and that's just the thing, right? It's not kicking off as a torch. Now, full disclosure, I did do the latest firmware update. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe they're sacrificing some peak brightness for the sake of black level control. I don't know. But 1071 is what you can expect. But we did not hit the 1500 nit peak brightness that they are advertising. So, again, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I've never actually seen it happen that way. Usually it's the other way around. I will try one other thing before I end this, because I do know that, like, traditionally there is one other thing that I can do that would potentially raise brightness, because sometimes local dimming is just too aggressive. So what we can do is try to scale down to like maybe medium, right? And see if maybe that has an impact. And then go to one of the historically bright ones, like a 25% window, and then see what we get. And we're getting 700s, 1200s. It's not great, right? So I don't care how you slice it. This thing is not reaching its 1500 nit promise. It's just not. It's not happening right now on this current firmware that I'm on. Yeah, it's not happening. 1063.1. So yeah, it's definitely like dimmer than what you would want it to be. Definitely dimmer than the TCL QM8. We just throw that out there right now. The TCL QM8 would have lit up this entire room. That much I can tell you right now. But again, yeah, no, I don't see the 1500 coming out of this. I'm testing it here. SDR is not going to hit that. Maybe there's an argument for HDR, but again, I don't test in HDR because everything is not in HDR. So I don't even use it. I don't like it. It's very inconsistent, and there is no industry standard around it to even calibrate for it, so I don't understand why it's a big deal. But again, people have their likes and their preferences. All I'm saying is, for the most universal thing that we have right now in an actual industry standard, SDR, it is not hitting its 1500 nits. And yeah, no, I don't know, man. That's kind of disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I really wish it would have, but it didn't. So hopefully this helps you understand the brightness of this thing and what it's actually capable of. But if you got questions, let me know down below. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.